This is episode number 400 of WPwatercooler. Episode 400. 9 years and 400 episodes. Brought to you by the fine folks over at ServerPress, Maker's Desktop Server. They make local WordPress development easy. Check them out at serverpress.com. I'm Jason Tucker. You can find me at Jason Tucker on Twitter. All right. On my face.
Who's that? I'm Steve Zehngut. I'm the founder of Zeek Interactive, and I run the OC WordPress meetup.
I'm Sarah Media. Thanks.
And it's your boy Jason Cosper, aka Fat Mullenweg, back at it again on the most influential WordPress podcast.
Why are you
Speaking of podcasts, go over to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, and you can leave us a review or even subscribe to us there as well.
Spotify.
And hang out with us on Discord. Go to WPwatercooler.com/Discord.
Someday I will get back in there.
Hey, folks, how's it going?
Hey.
So this is
Is this thing on?
This is the same bat channel. It's a different bat time and
For
day.
us.
For
But
us.
not for you.
But not for you. Yep, exactly. No. We're in syndication. Who would have thought? Ta-da!
We just want to apologize for our Sunday night energy.
Right. Yeah,
That's
we are
all.
recording
Or lack
on a Sunday
thereof.
night.
Or lack of anything.
Oh my goodness.
But we're
Yeah,
here
so we're
for you because we couldn't miss this milestone.
Have we really done this 400 times?
Yeah, unless I messed up on one of the counts someplace, but yes, roughly 400 times.
Approximately.
Wow.
Well, and then we got Dev Branch.
We did do Dev Branch, which took away one episode per month. So yeah, we did do that. And then we did do some episodes that may or may not have been counted when we were in Florida for
WordCamp.
For WordCamp, and so we did a couple of those out there. We did a few different things at different WordCamps and stuff. So
I wasn't there. It doesn't count.
It's those things.
Anyway, the point is that 9 years to the day.
Yeah.
And 400 episodes to the number. However we ended up counting, this is where we ended up. And we're filming on a Sunday because Steve is a punk.
That's okay.
No. The date is so significant to Steve that he had to get married.
That's
on
true.
that day.
Yeah,
that's true. It is my anniversary on the day that this is airing. So so thank you everybody for making accommodations for me.
We all know who comes first.
We'll leave that one. All right.
I think it's important to acknowledge your shirt.
Yes.
Jason.
Just gonna say that.
This is
Stand
really
up.
important. We have merch.
I modeled, so
we have merch.
Oh, no way. Come on. That's awesome.
Fun stuff. This was probably designed, how many years ago was this, Cosper? It was like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
You mean that meme or that shirt?
The
style.
Style. Way earlier, right?
The experimental Jet Set shirt was around like the early 2000s, like 2002, maybe 2005, but like probably.
How do you know the origin of that meme? I can't even.
I used to write a t-shirt
of
blog.
Useless knowledge. Wait, I'm sorry. That's even better. You wrote a t-shirt blog?
I wrote the t-shirt blog. Yes.
Wow. How did I not know this?
Wait. Was it on WordPress?
It was originally on Blogger, but I moved to WordPress when it was like I needed to graduate to something else, and I just started to learn.
That's cool.
Thing that people do.
Yeah, I was going to say Cosper has a head full of useless knowledge, but now I know how he acquired such knowledge.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what have we been doing for 400 episodes?
Well, the joke was that this was like Seinfeld for WordPress, essentially, and we just talked about nothing all the time.
Was it a joke or was it a prophecy?
Oh wow.
That's what I always want to. You should ask yourself: is it a joke or prophecy? Because I think, really have done that. talked about nothing for
Yeah.
14 episodes.
Yeah.
Although there's a lot of something in our nothing. I mean, but at least, you know, we aren't overselling the goods. You know?
That is true.
It's really true. We're really
That is true. That is true. This is an entertainment show, and you might accidentally learn something out of it.
Yeah, and we kind of undersell it and ourselves. Where was that comment? Was there a comment somewhere that you're showing us where someone told us that we were the worst marketers of our own content ever?
That was one of the comments. Is that they're like, wow, you got 35 views on this episode. Good job. You know, this was like one of the how could you only have 35 views? You must be the worst marketers of a YouTube channel or something like that.
Did you recite?
I resemble that remark.
That was from memory. I mean, I think about it before I go to bed every night.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're etched on your ceiling. You're the worst marketer of your stuff. To that commenter, which was probably 5 years ago, I say to you, we're not marketers of our stuff.
Cosper says you're number one.
Yeah, so oh my gosh, that was a visual censor. Just close your eyes. It's family adjacent.
La 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 la.
If you're listening to the audio of this podcast, Cosper showed us one of his fingers.
Just one. This is a special one. Anyway,
well, not that.
No, please.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I was trying to think about when we were preparing? I use that word loosely.
When did that happen?
In the time before now was happening.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me that I just had some water cooler on the mind. Not the same thing as water on the brain, but water cooler on the mind. Very similar. Easy to get confused. But I was trying to remember when Cosper came on the show. Because I was like, I have no time frame reference. So I was like, wow, I don't know if that was 2014 or if it was
it's
20.
It's funny you asked that because I actually have. So if I go back here and go back to the very first episode that Cosper was on, he was on episode 148.
It's 2015. Hey, look there's Matt right next to him.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, this is what happens when you have a lot of free time.
So is Cosper allowed on this? This is our 400th anniversary episode, but it's really Cosper's 252nd. So I think you're on the wrong show, pal.
I'll just try to not say very much.
Wait. Go back. Why did we have Matt on our show for episode 164? What was that random episode?
It's the new WordPress.com in 2015.
But what the heck was that? Does anyone remember?
Yeah, it was Calypso.
We had show notes with a transcript.
Calypso.
Wow. How many times has Matt been on the show? 2, 3?
I think wasn't that the time that he showed up in the middle of the show and we all freaked out because
did we think we were in trouble?
No, he
was on one time
on randomly and we were like, what just happened? That was funny.
He's only been on once.
That's it.
I swear he's been on I swear he's been on twice.
No, just that one time.
And it was right in the middle where he
look. There's 10 people on that show. Look at that.
And I still talk the whole time. Impressive.
Wow.
Yeah. This is why I could say that we've had over 300 people on this show because of how many times we would have a full flipping house on here talking. It happened all the time.
Fun. I really, I blame Google for that awesome format going away because that was Hangouts when they first launched it. And I've only been on 289 episodes. That's not correct.
So, what I did in preparation for this,
you beat me by 1.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, in preparation for this, I hired my daughter to go through each of the episodes and start backfilling all of the metadata here to kind of get some of this stuff figured out. So it's not 100% perfect, but
I was gonna say
darn it, it's pretty dang good.
That seems low for me and Say at 280 out of 400.
Yeah.
I haven't been. I know I haven't been absent 120 times.
But if the thing
like
is
me in college.
I can only get her to do so much, and she's into water polo, so
that's cool.
It's just, it is what it is.
Well,
that's cool.
Thanks. I was actually thinking about this too because I was trying to remember how old your daughter was when we started the show. I was waxing nostalgic earlier.
16 now.
She's 16, so she was 7.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's 16 minus 9.
Works.
There's been like an incredible amount of life changes across the show. I've gone through just the whole like different like careers, but also I have a child now. Did you know that, people? I have a child. Not you people.
You're married.
I am married. That happened too.
Yeah,
so did you? You got married.
I did.
You did.
Yep.
Yeah, and Tucker changed jobs.
Yep. Not only changed jobs, but I started the show before I had a job when I was just running my own little, one-person agency thing. And that was the whole reason for it. And then, no joke, I think it was like maybe 7 episodes in that I ended up getting a job and took it. And then after that, in my negotiations, I said, I need to have Mondays from like this time to this time off. Like I just need to be able to walk away.
Okay.
And so they stuck it in they wrote it in saying, yes, Jason's allowed to be gone for an hour.
But then we moved it to Fridays.
And then we moved to Fridays after I got a different job. Yeah.
Okay.
It was all me. So it's all about me. It's never about you guys.
Attention, as one does.
Right.
I actually liked I liked the Monday. It was a good kickoff. I enjoyed it. But I also like the Friday energy.
Yeah, Mondays were hard. Because we always had like stand-up meetings people were trying to do, and you would always have people to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I got this and that going on." And it was always just a pain. It was cool though.
But it's really easy to kind of just fart around on a Friday.
It's true.
It's just like screw it. It's Friday.
It's Friday. No one cares if we do anything. I think that even though the medium has changed from
multiple times.
Not quite the tool.
The tools have changed.
Broadcast tool, because
I mean the 4 tools. The 4 tools on this show have not changed, but the software tools have changed.
Software tools have changed. Yeah. I think that's actually really interesting, just even from a technical standpoint, because I don't know how much y'all use Hangouts, but I still use Hangouts with various friends and my family group and my siblings. And every 10 seconds now, I get a notice from Google that Hangouts is going away. It wants to tell you that constantly. And so we've really been on the entire arc, like used all of like this one tool that Google put out, and now it's sunsetting it. And, it's like we've lasted longer than Google's product.
It's because we left.
Exactly.
Well,
we were using Google Hangout before Google Hangout did On Air, which was its connection to YouTube. So the whole reason why I even started this was the fact that Google Hangout existed, and I was able to pull people in using that software. And then when we started WP Blab had this thing called blab.im. And that was its own separate thing. So it's like whenever a new process, tool, software, whatever comes out, I jump on it and play with it and run with it. And that's kind of how each one of these types of shows has worked out.
Sorry, we were listening, but you said some
words. Once you said you jump on it and play with it, Say and I were done.
I wonder how many totally inappropriate innuendos, like giggle fits I've had.
I think you need to have your daughter count those up.
No,
there's an assignment.
I did pay his daughter one time to because of all the swearing I was doing at a word camp.
You did.
Just for the record, I did do that. I had her.
You paid off your swear words?
I did.
Wasn't it like like $14 or something like that, and it was like
a quarter per.
A
It
quarter
was a quarter per swear word, and you hit $14.
Yeah,
You won.
Something like that.
You won the day.
I mean, I generally do. That's what I'm gonna say. So, I mean,
well, I was gonna say we don't do it anymore, but what I used to like was the secret word or the whatever we'd try to kind of wrap into the water cooler that the audience really wasn't in on, because it would always kind of make us crack up for no reason whatsoever, and the audience had to kind of.
We've never really talked about it, but like we do a half an hour pre-show before the show starts, which is always a bummer for a lot of people because you do a 5-minute.
Say does a 30-second pre-show.
When you're talent,
it's in our writer.
You just kind of come in. It's in my contract. I don't have to go to the pre-show.
So the pre-show is where we discuss things before Say gets there, and then we stop discussing them because she's there, because she thinks that we don't talk about the show before the show. Where a lot of times we talk about the show before the show all the freaking time.
That's the rule.
No talking about the show before the show.
Yeah, it's fun.
We want to present authentic, valuable, authentic, off the cuff content to you.
Starting with episode 401.
Actually, not starting with, but something that we've talked about that we haven't necessarily totally agreed on, but I'm just gonna announce it anyway.
Here it comes. Let's talk about it now.
Is that over the next year, while we gear up to get to whatever's after 9, 10, year 10 is what we're going for.
Year 10.
It's not going to be 500 episodes though.
No,
that would be
how math works.
No, it'll at the most it'll be 452.
Yeah, it's not going to be that either.
If we don't skip a week.
450, but over the next year, we have talked about having on some of those 300 guests. Not just to wax nostalgic about, the past, but just to, get back in touch, talk to some people, see where those people are at. A lot of the folks that we had on, especially early, are like kind of high muckety mucks in various WordPress places now. Not Steve. He's still there.
Yeah, definitely.
Steve never grew up. He just stuck around.
Not me either. But this is a lot of work to do that. So it'll be really interesting, I think, to get the perspective of really, can we call them long haulers? I don't know if we can. Is that? No?
I mean, we've had some people that have come back like within a couple episodes. Like they'll just come back again. They'll come back again, and then
I was making after COVID joke,
and then after a while we just ended up like not having guests, and it was more because of the fact that it was just easier to like kind of I don't know. It was just easier for us to kind of pull off, especially since and this kind of goes to the majority of the comments that we get on our YouTube channel as well as on Facebook and other stuff, is that we don't plan at all for this. I mean, we literally just hit record and start talking. We come up with a title for the show, maybe, and we sometimes stick with what it is that I say at the beginning of the show, and then we just kind of run with it. So because of that, we've had comments from way back when that were just like, this is very unprofessional.
And the only proper response to that is thank you.
You're right. It is. And we're trying. Wait.
And I'm just like, yeah. I have one right here that says, I had to leave this 5 minutes in because it was like a migraine fest with a couple of guests on there being way too hyper caffeinated.
I think that's our new tagline. It's a migraine fest with hyper caffeinated guests.
I mean, I would watch that on a Friday morning, not on a Sunday evening. However.
No, not a Sunday evening. No.
Yeah, I think. Do you want to pull up some of those comments, because I still haven't read the PDF that you gave us.
Yeah.
I'll randomly pick a selection here.
I wonder how many of them are about say.
I don't know. Maybe one or two probably.
Have you any of you ever done a live demo? So we're doing a live demo here. Yeah, so this is YouTube Studio.
Oh, I thought you had a video. Like we did a live demo on the show.
No,
doing a live demo.
I'm doing a live demo right now.
Oh no.
Yeah, so this is live stuff right here. So we've had people say well done.
It says well done.
Well done, and I replied
all caps.
I mean, that's all we need, right?
Wait, I do a site for an old lady that rescues dogs. I swear barely a day goes by when someone isn't trying to hack her site. Thank God for WordFence lockout. Any insight onto why one site would be open to so many attacks?
I just had a weird flashback of when college professors read you the syllabus. Do you remember that? And you're just like, here's the stuff on the screen. I think that the advice that people generally give is, or it's cliche, I guess, don't read the comments, right? Yes?
Yeah. Well, the thing is I didn't read many of these comments. And the only time I would read a comment was when my phone would go off because I forgot to turn off notifications or whatever for this app. And then it would tell me like, you got to comment. And I was like, oh, I'll leave a comment. So some of these I'm replying to a comment that happened like 2 years ago, and I'm literally replying to it now. So I'm really good at that.
And most of these, I mean, you've got to look and see which episode they're about, because otherwise they're just way out of context.
Oh yeah, that's why I was
look at that one. No, go. I like the one. No, there's three above. Scroll back up. That's my favorite one right there. Is ga.
And that's at a particular time code here. So let's see what happens at that exact time code.
Oh my God, I'm terrified.
Wow. This is intro to AMP. This is 100 episodes ago.
I'm wearing the same sweatshirt.
Can you guys hear it or not? I don't know if you can hear it or not.
No. Oh my God.
That's all right.
What's the same sweatshirt?
We can close cap here. We'll try on the closed caption.
Look at Steve's face.
Look at my hair.
We're basically the same. Yeah, you're like over there like Thor.
Mountain Man.
What's happening?
It's no fun if you guys can't hear it.
Here's one of the interesting things about this show. Is that it is not evergreen content, because even though it's, you take shows that are sort of like ours, which is kind of the vibe or whatever, kind of like, I feel like we're kind of like my brother and me. Has anyone ever heard that podcast?
Yeah. Wait, stop there.
It's just random. Steve does look like Bono with 5 o'clock shadow and then reflection.
I'm liking that one.
This is true.
Wow.
But I don't. Now all I can think about is Bono.
This one says Steve looks like Bono. Wait, go back. Steve looks like Bono with the 5 o'clock shadow and lens reflection. All right.
Did I not just read that literally?
Did you say it? I didn't hear that because you were babbling.
This episode is fun for us. I just want to remind you.
It is fun for us.
But what I wanted to say is that we create something, and I feel this way about websites in general and doing web work, but we are creating something that is ephemeral. You're not going to go back and listen to episode, let's say even the episode with Matt, right? Where we're talking about Calypso on WordPress.com, which incidentally was the precursor to the design for Gutenberg. Just thought I'd point that out. But you're not going to go back and watch that because Calypso is this doesn't even exist anymore, right? So it's completely useless. So the shows that we make are really just for now. They're for like right now. So even though we have it's like this moment in time, and we're putting all of this energy into it, and whatever it is, just right then, and then it's over. Like in a couple of months, the plugins that we've talked about, have different things. I upgraded my Gravity forms the other day, and I was like, oh, look, their formats, their UI is all more Gutenberg-y now. Go them. So like, as we get a further and it's kind of like when you drive a used car off the car lot and it immediately is worth less.
Right. Yeah.
That's how our show is.
We're the car in the front yard with no wheels, just sitting there
it's
on
like
blocks.
you drive like the moment, like the week.
You're saying that our show depreciates immediately after we record it, is what you're saying.
No,
that's what you're trying to say.
Wow, you're really selling that sponsorship, aren't you?
That's really what I'm trying to say. No, I was saying that we're depreciated. The second
No,
the word
note to self: don't invite Say to any of the sponsorship meetings that I have.
Yeah.
The point
it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that, Say, but the thing is that people do watch old content and they leave comments on that old content. So much so that I've recorded a video one time of something where I was like using this like squeezy water bottle thing and it would like filter the water. And so I recorded this stupid little video of it and then posted it. And then like 7 years later, somebody's like, I can't find that thing in the store. Where's it at? And I'm just like, dude, look what the year is. Look at the year that you're recording this video like a decade ago.
This video depreciated as soon as I shot it. What's wrong with you?
It's just silly. It's silly.
Okay, but I just want to go back to my point a little bit. Sorry, that was a good story though.
Yes.
But that it's like with websites, right? You keep having to rebuild them, you keep having to develop them, you keep having to add new things to them, new content. I like that our show parallels that experience because there's not a lot of stuff in the world where you're creating something that basically, like I said, is ephemeral and evaporates and becomes, less, well, a lot of things become less valuable over time, but it's the way that tech is,
But I think the thing is our approach.
My point.
You just looked at your wrist. There's no watch on your wrist.
Our approach is a little bit different though.
Hold on,
like in that, there are YouTube channels that do tutorial, recordings, and they'll do like a 2-hour demo on how to use whatever it is. And if you take what you're saying here, the person recorded 2 hours of something that they're going to watch a whole bunch of times once, and then they'll never go back to it again. Where when somebody finds one of our old episodes, they may find that we're not talking about the thing that's in the description or in the title. And they just go, you know what? This is funny. I'm just going to leave this on in the background and just like have people sit here and talk. And sure enough, when I've gone to WordCamps, people have like, I've listened to your show and I don't even remember what you guys look like because I hit play and then I just kind of minimize it. And then I just let it play in the background.
By the way, that's how I recommend listening to the show to our entire audience.
Well, that's why we make it as a podcast.
Just minimize it. No, I think that we transcend tech in that way because it is more like a morning show or like it's a water cooler, and that I think is the real thing that we, even if everyone else wants us to be something else, that's something that we've stuck to our entire reign here that we've gone on. And there's all these other shows that have come up, all these other WordPress-based shows, and they're very useful and they're very helpful and they have lots of information and stuff. But I still think we're the number one WordPress podcast / show. So just so you know, not that I listen to the other ones.
So you guys are all number one in my book.
Yeah. So, but I think that it's going to be really cool over the next year. Instead of just waiting until year 10, we're going to get nostalgic over the course of the year.
Yeah, can you imagine trying to herd that many cats together just to do like one episode?
I think we should have all 300 people on a single
one
episode.
Big Zoom call.
Actually, that could be really fun.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't be all 300 people. There's a couple people that would not be on, but
it wouldn't be too different from the Google Hangouts where we had 10 people on. Just
no joke. Yeah,
talking over each other.
Except for with Zoom, co-hosts have mute, and that is a power.
I get a lot of comments where people say, "Why isn't the moderator moderating?" And I'm like,
because there is no moderator.
Why would I want to moderate this? Like, I don't understand. Like, it would be too difficult to moderate. We steer.
This is the show, people. This is it.
And we've all learned how to steer this boat.
You don't have a show. That's what you need to remember.
Yeah, we're not doing this like very.
All right, so we've talked about ourselves for half an hour, almost, and we don't often just go into total, nasal gazing. What is that called?
Navel gazing.
That thing. We don't always do that, but this is that. I just wanted to know if anyone has any other points to make. It's important to me that you guys have an opportunity to say things.
Why start now?
Holy crap, Cosper, you get to speak. She's the only one she hasn't said your name yet, but she's looking at you and she pointed at you.
I'm good.
Cosper says hard pass.
Hard pass.
Look,
That's
you're
not
gonna
part of my job
get that
description here.
opportunity again for 400 more episodes. So don't tell me I didn't try. All right.
All right.
'Cause I did. I love you all.
Goodness.
I just want you to know that you here in the studio and you out there in the audience.
Holy crap, you're in my house. Well, I agree. I hope people get whatever value they get out of this monstrosity that we put out every week, and that it's fun. And
We're not going
it's
away.
enjoyable.
I'm so sorry.
Here's to 4 more episodes. 400 more episodes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, maybe by the time we get to 10, I'll get a headset.
10 years or 10 episodes?
10 years. 10 years later, Say gets a
bad.
headset.
Watch out.
All
right. Well, here's our outro. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
We did talk about this as an audio and video podcast.
No,
So if
thank
want,
you.
You can listen to this as a podcast. Go over to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify,
Google Podcast.
or you can watch us on
Stitcher.
YouTube. Talk to y'all later.
Spotify.